Gary Payton and the Seattle Supersonics.
Sorry, Jay Peter with the Seattle Mariners.
Jermaine Kearse.
Cliff Averill.
Nate Burleson. You're watching NorCam.
NorCam.
You're watching NorCam.
What's up, guys? This is NorCam coming at you on this Wednesday, the day before the Thursday night football matchup between the Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And yeah, I just want to get into this. You know, I'm still reeling from that last the loss against the Redskins on Sunday. Just painful. So I'm here to kind of I need to move past this because luckily it's a short week. We get to now focus on this game, which is coming up real fast, and you know, that's what we gotta have to do now. So I'm excited to have you guys join me here. Feel free to join the chat room. You can also call right now and get on the line with me. I'll be taking your calls for about the next hour or so. The number is on the screen here, 515-739-1219. Enter the code 696-153, and you'll be placed in the queue, and I'll try to get to everybody as quickly as I can. So before I start, I just want to kind of get things rolling a little bit. And my thought on this, I labeled this this video that the Seahawks will lose to the Cardinals unless, and here's my unlesses, okay, I have them in basically three categories: on offense, defense, and special teams. And that is, this is what we got to do, all right, to not lose to the Cardinals. On offense, one, we've got to stop with the penalties. All right, we had a record number of penalties last week. I think it was 16 of them. Can't do that again. We've got to clean up our act. Number two, we've got to execute. I know it's easy to say that. Execute meaning we got to protect Wilson, particularly with the line. We've got to do our job. You know, cover your man. Don't let guys go free. Open just a little bit of holes so we can get a little bit of running game for Thomas Rawls in there. My boy, you know, hoping for him to have a breakout game. He showed some promise last week. I want to see him, you know, build on that. And then also just receivers, you know, catching the ball, running their routes, you know, doing the little things, making their blocks. I think we got to convert better than 50% on third down. I think that's going to be crucial. We can't not get these 3rd and 1s. We got to get them. So better than 50%. And I think for rushing, we've got to, I said last week, we need to get over 100 yards. We did that. Of course, it was mostly Russell, but still, we did get well over 100 yards. This week, I want to get over 125 as a team, you know, so I just kind of baby steps, making sure that at least we're making progress. And then the final one, 5th one of that, is not turn the ball over, okay? Russell had 2 picks last week. Did not help the situation, but we've got to protect the ball. Again, the Cardinals are a team that's reeling. They got significant injuries, particularly with Carson Palmer down. They're not nearly as strong as they would be otherwise. And so we don't want to give them, like we did the Redskins, give them reasons to be in this game and, you know, give them extra opportunities that they shouldn't have. So the other part of that is going to the defense now, is that here's the 5 things. I guess I really have 4 things, but I'll say 5. The first thing, we got to stop the run. Last week, the Cardinals beat the 49ers. Granted, it was a winless 49ers, but they beat them, and they gave Adrian Peterson the ball for like 35 carries for 150 or something yards. They're going to try to do that again because they don't have a quarterback. So they're going to run the ball like crazy, and that's going to test our defense. We got to be stout on the run. And I think if we play discipline, and hopefully our guys come tomorrow with the injury report, we have good, you know, most of our line intact. I think we'll do pretty good on stopping the run, but we've got to do that. If they take over running the ball, it's going to be dangerous. We've got to force 3 and outs. You know, not let them, you know, have extended drives, which will, as a result, win the field position and the time of possession battle, which we had last week, but, you know, things just didn't go our way. But we win that. I think we win that battle, we'll win the game. And then the final thing is, you know, we won't even need turnovers. It's nice to get them. Believe me, I want them if we can get them, but we won't even need them if we can do all those other things. So that's the key, I believe, on defense. Finally, special teams. Make your freaking field goals. I gave Blair Walsh a pass, being that he, you know, pretty much you say he lost the game for us. You missed 3 field goals. That's pretty much unacceptable. But I wasn't of the feeling that we should just kick him off the team right then and there. Give him at least one more game chance to redeem himself, and hopefully he can do that. As you recall, last year, this was the dreaded kickers game where both the Arizona kicker and Stephen Hauschka couldn't make a game-winning field goal a short distance. And so hopefully this can be our time to exercise those memories, exercise Blair Walsh's misses last week, and, score the points when we should get them. Field goals, touchdowns are better. Field goals are better than nothing, but nothing worse than missing a field goal. So field goals got to get them. And then on special teams, the other thing is no stupid mistakes. We had so many blocks in the backs and holdings. We even had an offside on that final kickoff that put the ball 5 yards further for the Redskins that helped lead to that final drive. Just stupid things like that we shouldn't do. So, and then the Gunners, get to that ball. There was one play, if you recall, in the Redskins game where we punted deep and John Ryan hit at the 5-yard line. It was a perfect ball, and they had time to get down there, but both Gunners got too busy going after the returner and not going after the ball, that the ball rolled into the end zone and ended up in the 20. So, just little things like that. We got to just clean up our act. And I think if we do all those things in all those 3 phases of the game, we should come out with a win. But that being said, I'm still nervous as hell. And if we lose this game, I don't even want to think about the consequences if we lose this game. Suddenly it's going to be a very desperate situation in the NFC. So let's get to the calls. Actually, let me do some quick shout outs here just to the people in the chats. There's a ton of you already, so it's going to be impossible for me to catch up. But from the beginning, we had Bosco Gamer, Ryan the Beast 2, Brandon Rogers, Cheez-Its, Chris or Christ, Armor Man 2.0, Ryan Laffey, Soren Carlson, Sam Ranger, Nathan Olmstead Vlogs, Semi Shafi, Master Caleb, Blake Clark, and much more than that. But let's get to the calls. And see who we'll start off with first. Looks like we got the first caller came in from the 419. Let's start right there. What's up? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Logan from Toledo, Ohio. I spoke last chat.
Oh, yeah. It's good to have you back on the show. What's on your mind?
All right, so I saw that Earl Thomas is listed as doubtful tomorrow.
Yep.
Do you think they'll have a big effect on the game, or do you think we could cover that up because we're facing Drew Stanton?
Well, I'm glad we're not facing Carson Palmer for sure. It always sucks when he's not in there because Earl Thomas isn't just a good pass defender. He's a great run defender as well. And so not having in there, look at the Redskins game. It could be argued, would we have not lost that game if Earl Thomas was in there? Maybe. Maybe those 2 big pass plays that they got to win the game, maybe those don't happen if Earl Thomas is in there. But fact of the matter is we can't control that. If he can play, great. But if he can't, we're going to have to do it without him. So I think, we had the personnel to get it done, but they just, whether it be the scheme or the way those guys played those receivers, it wasn't well executed. In a game where you couldn't let you could do anything but let the receivers get behind you. They let the receivers get behind them twice, and hopefully they all figure that out and won't let that happen in this game. So I'm going to try to be optimistic that we'll get by, and I think, as I said in the beginning, we got to stop the run. If we stop the run and force them to throw, that's going to play right into our hands because Drew Stanton's not that good. So, if we can stop Adrian Peterson, then I think we'll be in good shape. But it starts in the trenches.
Yeah. And do you like the color rush uniform?
No. No, I don't. I'm not going to buy one of those green jerseys. I don't mind. I like the green as an accent color. I'm wearing accent green, but to wear the whole thing as green is just too blinding. I don't know. It's just some color. Like Arizona, I understand is going to be wearing all black. Now that's cool. That's pretty cool. All white, I can even go with that. But the bright green, it's just, oh, come on. So a little too much. So yeah, I'm not going to be in line at the shop to pick up one of those jerseys. So that's my own personal feeling. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in, man. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right. Take care. Go Hogs. All right. Let's keep it going. Let's talk to someone from the 952. Nope. Oops. Sorry. Punched the wrong one. This is 646. Who's this and where are you calling from?
NorbCam, how are you this evening?
Oh, I know who this is. What's up, Gangrene?
Nothing
man. Big game for you guys tomorrow night. And I'm pretty much trying to analyze perspectives on regards to injury reports and regards to how you guys have played so far. And looks like you guys have some significant injuries there. Earl Thomas listed as doubtful with his hamstring injury. Richard Sherman with an Achilles injury.
He'll play.
Did not practice all week and is listed as questionable for tomorrow night.
Don't worry about Sherman. He'll play. He'll play. I don't think hardly anybody really practiced because they're all recovering. So
the Cardinals are ranked 5th in the passing game in regards to yards per game, and they're ranked next to nothing. They're ranked 31st in rushing. So with the banged up secondary, are you concerned about the Cardinals' offense there? Even though they're without Carson Palmer, because this could be a trap game for you guys.
Well, we already had our trap game last week, so I think these guys better not be going into this because, you know, if this is a trap game, that means they didn't learn anything from Sunday. So I think Arizona's going to try to run the ball, and we have to stop them there. And my gut feeling is that if they do force them to pass, that we'll do all right. I'm trying not to sweat too much Earl Thomas not being in there. Clearly, it's not the same without him, but you know, I still think that we'll be okay. You know, if it was Carson Palmer, I'd be a little more nervous. But you know, but I'm not completely writing off Stanton, but I feel a lot better with Stanton in there than with Palmer. So you know,
I mean, you could kind of say the same thing when we were facing the Miami Dolphins a couple weeks ago, and then Cutler went down, and then Matt Moore went in there.
Yeah.
But listen. Big game for you guys tomorrow night, and I can't say it's going to save your season, but there's a lot of ups and downs, and honestly, on paper, you guys really should win this game. I mean, the secondary is going to have to step up. I think you guys could stop the run, especially with Sheldon Richardson, who is a great run stopper. He was a great run stopper when he was with our New York Jets. And
yeah.
You know, what about that wide receiver core for Arizona? Larry Fitzgerald and all those others. What do you think about that?
I mean, they're still good. You know, I don't, as much as the Cardinals have had kind of a down year this year, I never take them lightly because we didn't beat them at all last year. We had a tie and a loss to them. So we haven't beaten them in over a year. So this team always concerns me, and I think it's a good rivalry. We know each other, and their defense is good. So, you know, I'm mostly worried about our offense against their defense, to be honest with you. And I'm more concerned about our offense against ourselves. You know, well, most of the problems we had on Sunday were self-inflicted punishment, less than what they were doing to us. It was more of what we were doing to ourselves. So if we can do less for ourselves, we have a better chance of doing something to them. But you know, that's what I feel like the real battle is getting out of our own way. That seems to be our problem most of the season. So yeah, we'll see. But you know, I'm obviously optimistic. I'm nervously optimistic, but you know, I feel like we should win this game. So we'll see what happens. But yeah. Anyway, but thanks for your feedback always. I did watch your video. I know you want to get revenge on your good old buddy Fitzgerald, right?
Ryan
Fitzpatrick. So yeah, it'll be fun to watch your game on Sunday. Hopefully, we'll get our win tomorrow, and then I can root for your Jets without worry come Sunday.
I'll be watching tomorrow night. Oh, actually,
everybody will be watching tomorrow. It's the only game in town. So, but yeah, wish us luck, man. We're gonna need it.
Good luck to you guys. Go Hawks.
All right.
To me at Gangrene David on YouTube. I talk all football just like North.
All right. Thanks, Gangrene David. I will talk to you soon. Good luck this weekend, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
All right, go Hawks. Yeah. That's Gangrene David, always regular checking in. Check out his YouTube channel. Let's go to the 470. What's up, man? This is NorbCam. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Hey, my name is Blake, and I'm from Georgia.
Blake from Georgia. What's on your mind?
I have two questions. First off, do you think that we should just pick up a kicker out of free agency? Because I feel like Blair Walsh single-handedly lost that game for us.
He did single-handedly lose that game for us, but I always believe in second chances. So to me, I feel like I want to see what he can do in this game, and if he looks clearly like he cannot handle the situation or it's gone into his head, then at that point, I think then we start looking in this long week that would follow this game. Then I think we start bringing in kickers. But I'd say I give him one more chance in here. I mean, we're gonna have to. I mean, tomorrow's the game, so if he does not perform, if he performs as he's expected to, I'm okay letting it continue. But if he has another bad game tomorrow, then I'd say, we're gonna have to look elsewhere. What's your other? You had a second question, right?
Yeah, I have a question. I want your opinion on it because I figured this out earlier, and I thought you'd probably be happy about this. Did you hear about Deion Jordan coming back?
Yes. I don't know if it's for sure, though.
Well, I got an alert on ESPN, so I was wondering.
I hope he can make it back. I think it's questionable at this point. We'll find out, I guess, for sure on the injury report. But yeah, he would be huge. I mean, he's a big guy, tall. He can disrupt the passing lanes, and we need all the depth we can get at defensive line. So if Jordan can get back there, that would be a huge lift for this defensive line. But I like the D line where it's going. We just like every team's got to deal with the injuries that we got. But last week with having the what's his name? The guy, the pass rusher we just picked up. Dwight Freeney, he had a great game. I mean, he's got 3 sacks in 2 games. I mean, he's doing more than I think anyone expected to. So, I think so far it's been a good, it's been a great, addition to the line. And Jordan coming in would be huge too. So, hopefully we do. We need all the bodies we can on that line and to stop that run game especially. All right, well, thanks for your call, man. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, go Hawks. All right, let's go to the 208. Hey, what's up? This is NorbCam. Where are you calling from? And who is this?
Florida. Buddy from Florida.
Hey, what's going on? What's on your mind?
There's 3 things I want to talk about. Trey McFadden, obviously our fullback, is out for the year after being placed on IR. I feel like this might be a good thing for our offense because I don't know the exact percentage of plays he was coming in, but it felt like he was coming in like every drive a couple plays.
Yeah.
And what this might do is like with Brosize coming back, this might make our offense more pass oriented because with how much Seattle likes to run behind their fullback.
So you're saying you actually don't want to try to run the ball. You want it to be an all-passing offense.
Yeah, we can when Russell Wilson's running the 2-minute offense, and we have, let's say, J.D. McKissick or, C.J. Brosize back there, we can mix in a couple runs or like maybe a read option, something like that. Our offense is most explosive when we do that.
Well, I agree with you.
I don't want to see us go into center, then run it behind, the right side. It felt like we were doing that every play last game.
Well, all right. I have a couple thoughts on that. I mean, I agree that we are explosive in the 2-minute warning. We're almost 2-minute warning. The 2-minute offense. We're almost unstoppable in the 2-minute offense. And I've still wondered why we don't start a game with that. Just the opening drive. I understand why you can't run the 2-minute offense all game long, because if you do that, you don't convert, your defense is tired and doesn't get a break. So you have to be able to slow the tempo down. But I agree. I think there are times when the offense can pick it up, because when they do, good things generally happen. And Russell is just improvising, and I think that's when he's at his best. So I agree with you there. I think we can use that a little bit more often just to kind of jumpstart the offense a little bit. But you got to have a run game. And I'm telling you, you have to, when you go into the playoffs especially when you get into the cold weather games and you get into in the playoffs, it's a different game. And if you live by the pass, you will die by the pass as well. You risk turnovers. I mean, look what happened last game against the Redskins. Two turnovers. Those things, your chances of success and risk go up. The risk versus reward goes up. So you still got to have a run game, and I'm convinced we can still get it. Remember, we're only halfway through the season, so it's not like this is the start of the playoffs and we have to abandon all hope. I think we can still get it. We haven't seen Dwayne Brown yet completely get into his full groove, and that's going to be an important matchup tomorrow. Chandler Jones against Dwayne Brown. Watch that tomorrow night. Our new tackle against their leading sack guy. I think he's got 9 sacks this season, so something to watch tomorrow. But yeah, we've got to still have some run game, because I think if we want to have success in the playoffs, you've got to be able to run the ball. We've got to be able to run the ball. So maybe not in I formation. Maybe we don't pick up a fullback, although, you know, they could. There are some guys still floating out there. But yeah, we still got to have some threat of running. Otherwise, if teams know you're not going to run the ball, they just drop their linebackers out in coverage, and then it'll be like what happened against the Redskins. So you can't be one-dimensional. Just can't do it.
Yeah, I might be a little biased. I think C.J. Process is obviously probably the most talented back.
I agree.
I think he's probably our best back. He's better than Rawls, I feel like, when he's healthy. And I think we kind of need to force feed him the ball this game to try and get him back into game shape a little bit, since it's going to be an 11-day break between games, I think. I think it's 11 or 10.
Well, I think they've tried their best to work him in. The problem is he can't stay on the field. This whole health thing, you know, I agree. Every time he's been out there, you know, for an extended period of time, he's awesome. But it's no good if you're not available. Was that whole saying, you know, your best ability is availability? And, you know, he's just not been available. So hopefully this time, you know, he will be. But, you know, right now it's like he's just not able to stay on the field. But maybe tomorrow. Maybe he will be. He's going to be playing tomorrow. So hopefully they can use him and he can stay out there. And I would love to see that happen, because he is a good back. So let's hope that he can. All right. Thanks for your call, man. Appreciate it. All right. Go Hawks. All right. Let's go to the 516. What's up? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this? Hello? All right. Let's go to the 240 area code. Here we go. All right. You're on with NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Oh, remember me? I called from Maryland the last call.
Oh, yeah. What was your name again?
Jason.
Jason, yeah. What's up? What's on your mind this time?
I feel like the Seahawks will kind of win this game because, look at it. The Seahawks might have, they're more confident because they just lost to the Redskins and, I feel like they will just win because you can just see it in paper. Like, the Cardinals, they're not that good.
Well, I mean, I agree with you. On paper, Cardinals are not as good. Then again, the Redskins on paper were horrible compared to us. We still lost to them. So, you know, the whole any given Sunday, you can't take anything for granted. But again, I think we did win that game statistically against the Redskins. We just screwed up and didn't do our jobs at the most critical time. So we should win this game, but we've got to execute. You know, you got to get your points when you get them, make your field goals when you get them, you know, make your plays. You do all those things, and then Seattle will win this ball game. But they just can't make the dumb mistakes, the penalties that take away explosive plays. Self-inflicted. So they've just got to do a better job of execution. We've been having too much LOE, lack of execution. So we've got to clean up that part. We do that, and we will win this game.
One more thing.
Yeah.
It's good that Carson Palmer's not playing because, look at it, you have Earl Thomas that might play. You were right, believe 3 calls back. I believe Richard Sherman will play because it's a really important game for us, you know. Yeah,
plus Richard never misses a game. When's the last time he's missed a game? Never. So he'll play. But, you know, yeah, I'm glad Carson Palmer's not playing either because he's definitely a dangerous QB. So I'm glad we're facing Drew Stanton instead of him. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we just got to play our game and we should be all right. So thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right, let's go to the 484. What's up, guys? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hello, my name is Ryan.
Ryan?
Yes, my name is Ryan.
All right. Where are you calling from?
I'm from New York.
From New York. All right. What's on your mind, Ryan?
Would you like to sign Blair Walsh or Roberto Aguayo?
Which would I rather sign?
Yeah.
Blair Walsh, who we already have, or the other kicker, Aguayo?
Yeah.
I have not really looked up his stats, so I'm not sure how he's doing this year. And have you looked him up? Is there a reason why you have him as the potential who you'd rather have?
I don't know, like, Blair Walsh is terrible. Aguayo is also terrible.
Well, I'll say this much. Blair Walsh was terrible on Sunday, but up to that point, he'd only missed one field goal. So maybe, I'm hoping he just had one bad day, and he can get it back together. If he goes back and kicks 2 or 3 field goals and goes 2 for 2, 3 for 3, to me, then I'm like, okay, I'm good with him. You know, but if he goes and misses 2 more field goals or goes 1 out of 4, 1 out of 3, then I think we got a problem. So hopefully he can do the former, because I think he's a good kicker, but every kicker has a bad day. It just sort of turns out to be the worst time to have a bad day. So hopefully he doesn't have a bad day tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Keep the faith.
All right.
All right. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a good evening.
All right. Go Hawks. All right. Let's go to the 484. Been holding off for a while. What's up? Who's this and where are you calling from?
What's going on, Norm? My name is Patrick, and I'm from Pennsylvania.
Cool. What's up, Patrick? What's on your mind?
So, I was wondering, like, so you know how Adrian Peterson got, like, this whole big workload, you know, in the last game? Do you think that and they've actually said that he might actually get the same workload. Do you think he gets, like, that amount of volume, or?
I think they will. I mean, it worked for them. Granted, we're playing the 49ers, who haven't won a game yet, but, you know, I think that's what Adrian Peterson wants. He likes to carry the ball a lot, and since it worked for them last time, I think they're going to want to try to do that. And with Drew Stanton as quarterback, I think they know they're more successful in trying to dominate and establish the run than try to win the game passing. So I think they're going to try to run it down our throats multiple times. I'd be surprised if he gets less than 30 carries. So the only way you stop that is you keep stopping him. If he only gets 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 and outs, and then you get them behind 2 scores, they're going to be forced to then pass the ball. And then I think that's a good recipe for us. But if they start running and they get first down after first down after first down, that wears the defense down, it's time of possession, limits the offensive possessions for us. So we got to stop the run. I think that's going to be paramount tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, I definitely agree. I think that, Drew Stanton, it's not like he's like a good quarterback, so I feel like, who do you think gets the most carries in this game in terms of our running game? Because I hear some people saying that we should be like an all-passing offense, but that's not really possible. Like teams don't win if they're fully only one-dimensional. Like you need to have something that can like change up the pace, because just passing the ball all game does not work.
I agree. That's what I was saying to the other caller, because he wanted to see an all-passing offense, and I said, you know, you do that, and if the other team knows, your opponent knows you're one-dimensional, they can change the way they play you on defense. They just basically, instead of putting linebackers up there to respect the run, they just drop that back in pass coverage, have 4 guys, five, 6 guys out there, and just rush 4, and everybody's in the passing lanes. You're screwed. So you've got to make them have to respect it. If you have the threat of running the ball, those linebackers have got to kind of creep up and stay in those gaps. And when you do that, that opens up the passing lanes underneath in the middle and the crossing routes. But if you don't have the linebackers respecting that, everybody just drops back, and then Russell's got nowhere to throw the ball. So you have to be able to run, especially at playoff time, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree, man.
Yeah. So hopefully we stop their running game and we get ours going. I want to see Thomas Rawls bust out for 75, 80 yards and keep Adrian Peterson to like under 60. That would be, if we get that in the box score, we're going to win this game.
Exactly. And it's like a little, so I was watching a little bit of Thomas Rawls' film, and the way that he can find holes is absolutely insane. I just love that part about him.
Oh, I love him too. I've been a fan of his since he joined the team, and he had such a great first year until he broke his ankle. And I think he tries so hard to make every play like the biggest play of his career because he doesn't get that many touches now. But I think what he needs to actually do is he has to be a little patient, because I think he runs so hard that he runs before a hole is actually opened up. And then sometimes you got to kind of wait till that little gap opens and then jump through. And I think some of that is a matter of getting the feel for the line and the blocking scheme and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes The patience is the thing that I don't think he has yet, because he's so ready to just jump out there and go as fast as possible. But sometimes you got to wait. Sometimes you got to wait till that hole just kind of opens up and then, dart through it. So again, I think now that he's the man, with Lacey still out with that groin injury, he's the guy who's going to have to kind of carry the load, and with a little help from McKissick and Procise. But so I'm hoping for a big game from Rawls. But it's going to have to be kind of everything working together, the line doing their blocks, get a little passing game to kind of mix things up. And, hopefully, like I said, if Rawls can get 75 or more, that's a pretty good day for the running game. And then, Wilson will get his typical 40, 50 yards and, see what else happens. So I'm nervously excited about tomorrow. But, I think we can get this done. We have to get this done. The alternative, don't even want to think about it. So we got to get this win.
Yeah.
No.
We'll lose this game.
Don't even say it. Don't even say it. I don't want to hear about it. Don't even bring it up. We're going to win this game. We must win this game. All right, man. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Go Hawks.
All right, go Hawks. All right, good calls tonight. Let's go to the 623. What's up? This is NorCam. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Caleb Chris from Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, Caleb. Yeah. I see your names on the thing all the time, so it's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind, man?
I got two questions for you.
Yep.
First one is, do you think this could be the game that our offensive line gets together, considering last game, Russell Wilson basically got almost sacked by a one-man rush? Do you think this game we can improve on that?
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, Arizona is not an easy. They've always had a tough defense, and they play us hard, and they know us very well. So, I don't think there's going to be any real fooling these guys. And remember, we didn't beat them last year. We lost to them and we tied them. So there has not been any recent easy games with Arizona. And so, I don't expect a big turnaround, like suddenly this line looks like something we haven't seen before. I'm all about baby steps and improvement. If you just take away half those holding calls last week, we probably have 500 yards of offense and we win by 2 touchdowns. But the holding penalties just killed us. So those guys have got to just clean those things up, because I don't think we're that far off. I think we're doing all right, but we just keep shooting ourselves in the foot. So little things like that, clean up some of the penalties and just, do their assignments. I think suddenly it'll look like we're much better, but we've just done a couple things, small improvements. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's like I said, I just want to see a little bit more improvement in the rushing game each week. And if, Wilson he also has to trust the pocket, because I think Wilson's so scared about getting hit because of how many times he's been hit this year that he feels pressure even when the pressure isn't there. He gets a pocket and he actually has time to throw, but he scrambles because he's already afraid someone's going to hit him. So, so I think some of that too is that Russell trusting the line that they're not giving up a big, bull rush, or that he's in his face. So it's a little bit of it kind of goes both ways, that you don't want Russell breaking the pocket and running every time, because otherwise he's missing out on downfield opportunities. But at the same time, you don't want him out there taking a sack. So it's that fine balance of feeling the pressure and the line giving him just enough time. And I feel like they're going to get there. It's moving that way. But again, it's kind of a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of feeling right now. But Dwayne Brown, I feel, is going to improve. He's key tomorrow. It's keeping Chandler Jones from getting in there. And, that's all we got to do. Little things. But the penalties, we got to keep those penalties definitely under 10. If we can keep our penalties to under 8, we're going to be doing pretty good. Half the penalties as last week.
Yeah. And for my second question, it's a lot easier. I always hear you really don't like the color rush uniforms. What would be your idea for color rush for us? Would you do like an all blue, or what would you do?
Well, I'll go a different way. I wouldn't even go with the color rush. If I could have my way completely, I would do a Seahawks throwback to the 70s uniform. That's what I really want to see.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those uniforms in so long, and all the other teams do it. They'll throw on the other helmet, and for some reason, our team doesn't do it. I don't know if they just don't want to do it or what, but I would love to see one game where they break back on those bright blue and gray pants with the big 70s green and blue stripes and all that. That'd be awesome to see with the gray helmets. take me back to my childhood. You know what I mean? So that's what I would rather see. But just the bright green is just too much. I guess I can go with an all gray maybe, or an all blue. That'd be kind of like the previous uniform. But the bright green is just, I don't know. You stand out too much. It's like Arizona's going to be wearing all black. And I think that's an advantage because you can't see that in the peripheral of your eye. If you're waving a black stick, right, you're not going to see that. It's black. But you put a bright green neon stick, you're going to see that thing coming. So, I mean, I feel like that makes our guys more, visible. So, to a certain degree, I think that color actually is a disadvantage, at least from a standpoint of visibility to, certain situations. So, anyway, that's my take on the color rush. Otherwise, they look like a big green sneetch out there, so. But it is what it is. I got no control over it, but that's my personal opinion, since you asked.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's good to hear the voice. Yeah, it's good to hear the voice from the name. I always see your name on there. It's good to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
All right.
Hawks.
All right, go Hawks. All right, keeping it rolling. Let's take a quick peek at the chat room. There's so many chat questions, they fly by, but sorry, I can't really do both at the same time. All right, let's continue along here. Let's see the next caller. I'm trying to get to the ones that have been on the line for the longest time. Let's go to the 423. Been on for a long time here. Here we go. What's up? Who's this and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Cleveland, Tennessee.
Okay, and what's your name?
Tyler Green.
Okay, what's your question?
Do you think the Seattle can make it to the playoffs?
Do I think Seattle can make it to the playoffs? Yes, for sure. I mean, I think we'll win this division. But I want to do more than just make it to the playoffs and win the division. I want to make it to a Super Bowl. So to do that, I feel like we've got to get that number 1 seed or number 2 seed. That means we got to do some work here to get ahead of some of these teams that are in front of us. Particularly, we got to beat the Eagles and we got to beat the Rams and get some more wins and hope that the other teams stumble a little bit. But yeah, no, I think we'll be in the playoffs. It's just I want to be higher up in the playoffs.
I went to the last year. I went to the Atlanta Falcons playoffs.
Oh, you were down there, the Georgia Dome?
Yeah, I mean the old one.
Before they.
That was my first Seattle game.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad it didn't work out better. I was hoping for that win in that game, but could have had it. But things just turned on us. Really, I think when that punt return, they got called back because of the holding call or whatever that was. That was the turning point in that game where all of a sudden things started to go backwards. Got a safety, and then hell broke loose after that point. But yeah, we got the Falcons again. Seems like we're getting a lot of Falcons this last couple of years. So hopefully we'll get a win against them, even though they're having a little bit of a bad season this year. But yeah, I think we're there, man.
I watch all your videos about when you're at the games and stuff.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Well, I hope you'll subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope you'll subscribe and keep watching. It's
I already subscribed for you. And,
well, thank you.
And I've been wanting to go to a Seattle game, into the Seattle home field. I've been wanting to go to the.
Yeah. CenturyLink is awesome. So I hope one day you'll be able to come up there and maybe we can meet up at CenturyLink. It's a great place to watch a game. So, all right. Well, I got to go grab some more calls, but thank you for calling. I appreciate it.
Yeah, go Hawks.
All right. Yeah, go Hawks. All right. Let's go to the 804. What's up? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where are you calling from?
My name is James and I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
All right. What's on your mind, man?
Do you think that, the Jimmy Graham Max Unger trade, do you think that we would be in a different position if we had Max Unger?
Well, possibly. I think, that if we could have gone back in time and switched that, do a little Back to the Future and whisper in John Schneider's ear, don't do it, keep Max with us. It's possible that maybe we'd have a different, situation. Maybe our line problems wouldn't be as bad. But then again, Justin Britt has been pretty good at center. I don't think the center is our problem. We've had mostly problems on every other lineman besides center. So I don't think it's so much that was the root of our issues. There's 5 linemen, so there were 4 other guys who we haven't had so much luck with. But it's starting to shape up a little bit. It's getting there, but it just took a while. We had to take some swings and misses. But yeah, I don't know. I still have faith that the Jimmy Graham project is still going to result in some good scores here down the line, and that he's going to come up big in some clutch situations. He already has. It just hasn't been consistently in every game. But I'm hopeful that he still can in the rest of this eight games left in the regular season and in the playoffs, hopefully. So yeah, no, I'm not giving up yet. I'm not mailed it in on Jimmy Graham. I think he's still going to do some great stuff for us.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for calling. Go Hawks. All right, patiently waiting. Let's go to the 978. Been on for a while. What's up? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where you calling from?
This is Jack from Massachusetts.
Jack from Massachusetts. What's on your mind, Jack?
So it's hard to live in Massachusetts being a Seahawks fan.
I bet.
A bunch of crap at school, but do you think the Seahawks are still a Super Bowl contending team?
I think they have the potential to be, and I certainly haven't given up on them. They've got to get some semblance of a running game going. That's still the missing piece, and until they can do that, it's going to be a struggle. And I think we can't have Russell Wilson being 80% of our offense and expect to win a Super Bowl that way. It's just not going to work. So
defense really has to step up, and I think in a couple weeks we'll play better, maybe against Philadelphia, because a lot of our defensive players will be a lot more fresh.
Hopefully. But yeah, no, we're going to have to be on our big-time A-plus game when we play Philadelphia. They're clearly the best team in the NFL right now. But, yeah, no, I think we've got the potential. I just don't think we've been playing up to our potential. Again, making too many mistakes, too many penalties. But we're clearly putting up numbers that can show that we can hang. And our defense, while they've given up some big plays here and there, they were really good up until the final 90 seconds of the game last week. So if you take that out, we actually had a really good performance. So I think our defense is still, is still good enough. It may not be what it was in 2013 or 2014, but they're still capable of doing what they can do to get to the Super Bowl. But we're just not hitting on all cylinders yet. But I think the best is yet to come. We always do better.
I think we're probably going to come up with a win just because the Cardinals just haven't been playing too well, but we'll see.
Yeah, we got to stop the run. Stop Adrian Peterson, and that's the key.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. All right, let's go to the 347. What's going on? Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, I'm Adnan from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm calling. I want to ask you about fullback Trey Madden. He's out for the year.
Right.
Do you think the Seahawks should consider Marcel Reese?
I was thinking about that, and he's out there floating. I was actually hoping they'd keep him at the beginning of the season. I think we need to have a fullback. I think to have a running game, you got to have a guy in there that every once in a while you can switch it out to that I formation and bang it up inside when you got first and goal at the 1 yard line, situations like that. Marcel Reese is good, and he can catch the ball too. So I think it'd be a great replacement. So I would love to see that happen in the next week or so if they can somehow pick him up off the streets, because I think he's just right now just sitting around his couch eating Cheetos waiting for somebody to call him up. So yeah, Marcel Reese would be awesome, I think.
And also, who do you think is the offensive MVP, the midseason, defensive MVP, and special teams MVP?
Wow. For the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Special teams MVP, that would be Blair Walsh. Just kidding. I would probably have to say either John Ryan, because he's been pretty solid, although he's had a few off moments, but special teams, Nico Thorpe has been awesome as a gunner. So I would say maybe Nico Thorpe or John Ryan. Just as if you look at the overall season, they've been pretty standout on special teams. Offense, you got to give it to Russell Wilson. I mean, the guy's put the team on his shoulders and won games basically by himself. So he's clearly the guy who's carried this team. I'd like to see somebody else sort of be in the running for an offensive player, but he's clearly the only one at this point. And then on defense, Bobby Wagner. Bobby Wagner has been solid game in, game out. He's always available, doesn't get injured, and the guy is just in on every tackle, you know, getting his hands on balls. You know, he's just been awesome. So Bobby Wagner, we kind of forget about him because he's so, you know, consistent. But yeah, I think Bobby Wagner, he's been fantastic.
Also, like, you said you don't know if Deion Jordan is actually going to play tomorrow. I read today and I saw Pete Carroll's press conference.
Did he say he was?
They said they said he actually confirmed that he'll play tomorrow.
Oh, good.
They're
Okay.
putting Beast Odiambo on IR.
Oh, Odiambo's on IR. Okay. All right.
He dislocated 2 fingers and broke a finger.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. Okay. Well, that's good, actually. It's unfortunate about Odiambo, but that's great about Jordan. He's going to be a huge disruptive force in there with big, tall guy, long reach, can disrupt the passing lanes in there, and we need as much depth as possible on the line, so that's good news. Thanks for the update. Appreciate that from our corresponding reporter. All right. Appreciate the call, man. All right, go Hawks. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the 801. Check that. Let's go to 703. I think we got Lisa on the phone. Is this Lisa, or who's this calling?
Hi, we're Hayden and Hudson.
Oh, okay. Name Lisa came up. That must be your folks' number. Anyway, was it Caden and Hudson?
Hudson. Yeah, we each have 2 questions.
Yeah.
Right, so my first question is, are you mad at Pete Carroll for, do you think it was his fault that you guys lost the Super Bowl or the team's fault?
Well, I think we should have run the ball. I think Beast Mode would have gotten in on Super Bowl 49 at the 1-yard line. I wanted Beast Mode to get in. Clearly on video, you hear me saying that in my Super Bowl 49 reaction video. I don't necessarily blame. At the time, I was blaming the offensive coordinator for the call. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, if the play had worked, we'd all be going, wow, what a brilliant call against the goal line defense. But it didn't work, so, you know, you look at it, it's like, well, you didn't make the right call. So, yeah, I hold them responsible. But I also hold, you know, there's a point where you go, you blame the call, and then there's the execution. And if the play had been executed correctly, it would have worked. But there's a lot of things that went wrong in that play, and I don't want to go completely into it. But had certain things been executed differently, that play would have worked. And then you wouldn't have to blame him solely. Russell was partially to blame. The receiver was partially to blame. Jermaine Kearse was partly to blame. And, of course, the defenders, Brandon Browner and, of course, Malcolm Butler, both are to blame because they made the play happen. So, but all those things sort of worked as like the Redskins game, a perfect storm of crap that basically resulted in a negative play. And so, you know, long answer to that is, yeah, so partially to blame, yes, because he didn't run the ball in the first place. What's the second question?
The Legion of Boom is getting old, so what do you think will happen for the Seahawks after they retire?
Well, I mean, I don't think they're all going to disappear at the same time. So, you know, it's probably going to be like one piece eventually is going to disappear. But, you know, the big question is who's going to be going first. You know, we've got Earl Thomas is up. His contract is up next. So I hope he's going to be back, which would mean that, you know, then this the big question is Sherman and Chancellor. You know, we're talking about the original Legion of Boom members. But, you know, I think Thomas will be here. Probably of those 3, Thomas is the most important, followed by Sherman and followed by Cam Chancellor, of course, is my favorite Seahawk. But everybody's got an expiration date, and none of them are getting any younger. So, yeah, no, I think eventually it'll be down to, you know, Thomas and Sherman, and eventually, you know, these new guys will take over, and hopefully guys who maybe we're seeing right now will become the new Legion of Boom. And, you know, if the secondary can continue to pass on the torch to the young guys, you know, maybe the team keeps the name. It's just they change the players, you know, but they're gonna have to perform, you know, like their predecessors have done. So I think they can, but, you know, it's hard to imagine no Thomas, no Chancellor, or no Sherman, because those guys are kind of that trifecta of guys. It's sort of the legends of the Legion of Boom. But time catches up to everybody. So, well, we'll see. But we need Earl Thomas. That guy's still got a lot of tread on the tire, and we're not the same. We're not the same without him.
Right. All right. So we have one more question each. So my question is: Are you kind of mad that Marshawn Lynch is gone?
Gone? You mean I went out of retirement and joined the Raiders? I'm not mad at Marshawn Lynch. I see that Marshawn Lynch is here on the chat room saying, "What's up, Beast Mode?" The fact, if it had been any other team, I probably would have been pissed. But the fact that he played for the team that is his hometown, that he knows is leaving after this year or next year, I give him credit for that because I know that he's all about his hometown and O-Town, Oakland, and everything. So I don't blame him for that. And actually, I was rooting for him to do well and for Oakland to do well because I went on to see Seattle and Oakland in the Super Bowl. So that or else the Patriots. I want the rematch with them or Oakland. But so I'm not mad. I'm okay with it. I miss the guy. I wish he was still the beast mode we had from 3-4 years ago. So, all right. Well, thanks for calling, guys. I appreciate it.
Hello. Yeah.
All right. Go Hawks.
Yeah.
All right. Good stuff tonight. Let's go to the 801. All right. Who's this? And where are you calling from? Mike, turn your computer or your phone down a little bit there, Mike. And where are you from?
Oh, here. That's Mike Sherwood, Provo, Utah.
From Utah. All right, Mike. What's up?
How you doing, Norm?
I'm doing good, man. What's on your mind tonight?
The question is I might have missed it earlier, but what do you think our chances are of getting back to the Super Bowl this year?
The number one question everybody seems to ask. Well,
sorry about that.
Oh no. I think it's what's on everybody's mind, and the reality is it all comes down to home field advantage to me. Which means we got to get the number 1, number 2 seed, and right now because of that loss to the Redskins, we really screwed that up and made it hard on ourselves. It's definitely not impossible.
Definitely. That was a sad game.
We definitely didn't do ourselves any favors, but it's not it's not over yet. We only have 3 losses, but now we've got to play. I think we've got to be 13 or 12 wins. You get to 11 and 10, you're looking at a wild card.
4 games, and we probably got a pretty good chance of taking all 4 of those. Maybe taking back the NFC West.
Yeah, well, I think we can take the West because the Rams are up on us right now, but we got them in the tiebreaker, and if we go head to head and beat them again, that'll knock us down to kind of even playing field. So. Yeah, I think we can get the division, but again, we want more than division. We want that number 1 seed, top seed.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we could get back there. And do you have merch for sale?
Oh well, do I have merch? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do actually. If you go to my website norbcam.com, I have some socks and hats on there and stuff. I'm working on some T-shirts, so. Yeah, there's a merchandise page on norbcam.com. For all of you who are curious as well, go to norbcam.com. You can check it out.
We need some more rivalry videos.
Yes, I'm working on that for sure. I know it's overdue.
San Francisco would be a good one.
Always. Although, rivalries aren't as good when the team isn't good, but, they're still fun to pick on.
It would be funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That was it.
All right.
Go Hawks.
All right, from Utah. Thanks a lot. Appreciate the call. Go Hawks. All right, let's go to the 206 local. All right, who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Ray from Seattle.
Ray, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I just wanted to bring it back to the subject. We're probably not going to lose tomorrow for many reasons. One, our front seven is going to contain aging Peterson. 2, come on, man. Carson Palmer ain't in there, and we know Drew Stanton. He's decent, but he's really gonna any match for what we're about to bring. And plus, it's kind of our second home away from home. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, I think we're about to smash on them.
Well, I hope you're right.
In my opinion.
I hope you're right, but I look back at last season and we didn't beat them. We tied and lost to those guys last year, so we need to get a win because we didn't get one last year. So, now granted it's a different team without Palmer in there, big time different. you know, but I think the key is stopping Adrian Peterson. If they can't run the ball, they're pretty much one-dimensional the wrong way. So, you know, that's what we got to do. We got to force them.
For sure. I think as long as Russell, you know, is I don't know if Prosise is playing or not.
He's available.
Ronaldo's going to be in there.
Prosise is available.
We can get a little bit of the run. What's that?
Prosise is available. He's going to play tomorrow.
All right, cool. So that'll be a big help. If Russell can get on his feet, he's looking like he's 100% in speed. Earlier in the season, not really. But if he can start, you know, sneaking out and coming around on them and to where they have to stack the box, I mean, we're golden. We're golden on that one. But we definitely need to get the run game going, and the O-line has to get more solidified for sure. But I do have another, I mean, I think as long as we can stick with 50% of that plan, we're good. But I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Should we re-sign Jimmy Graham next year? And if we do, obviously not the $10 million. What do you think he's worth if we do to keep him? And they're talking like we are going to re-sign him and keep him around. But what's your opinion on that?
Well, I would like to think it's a mutual thing for them to want to keep going. Another question is, what's the magic number? Clearly, $10 million is too much for the way we've been using him. But I think he's still worth a pretty good value. I guess I would pay maybe 6 or 7.5 tops, you know, because I think we're not still using him to his fullest. I think we still could get a lot, and who knows, he might surprise us as the rest of this half of the season comes along, that he might become a huge weapon if we can just continue to work it. But yeah, as far as for with the magic number, I don't know the whole salary cap situation and all that stuff, but you know, just from a you know, bird's eye view, I would say, you know, 7.5 is the most we could pay him. And if he wants more than that, if he believes he's a $10 million guy and he wants to go after the money, then we're probably just have to let him go, because, you know, we can't afford to pay.
Yeah, we've already let our trading options go with that. I mean, that trade deadline.
Oh yeah, we're not getting any value from it. It's just a matter of, can we actually work on a deal that both parties will like. But I just don't know. I don't know how happy he is here, and I don't know how much money matters to him. So I know he likes to fly his airplane. So as long as he got enough to fly his plane, I think he'd be happy. But,
yeah, he does, doesn't he? But yeah, no, for sure. Go Hawks. I think we're gonna win tomorrow. Seriously, I'm pretty sure, and I bet that most of the stuff that look at was probably penalties. You know, hey, let's just focus on the penalties, because these guys are really beat up from the game on Sunday, and you know, they get what is it, Monday off, and then they kind of show up Tuesday, and then
right.
Wednesday's kind of practice, fly out. And my opinion is they probably were just practicing more on the simple things, because they see these guys twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Drew Stanton, they've seen him plenty of times. Anyways, I don't mean to hold up the line, but yeah, I think we're going to win for sure. It's our second home. We got it tomorrow.
Well, hey, I know you're from around here, but you should come down. Have you heard about my viewing party at the Emerald Downs Casino?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been hosting. I will be hosting the away games at Emerald Downs Casino off of Highway 167 in Auburn, and yeah, we're doing a viewing party there. We're going to be giving away jerseys, tickets to the Atlanta Falcons game, and 4K HD TV. So we're doing some pretty cool giveaways. So I'm telling everybody I know to come down and watch the game down there. It's going to be a blast, and it's a pretty fun atmosphere. So if you got time, you should come down and check it out, man. Emerald Downs.
All right, sweet. I will definitely give that a thought and keep that in mind.
All right. Hope to see you there, man. Appreciate the call. Appreciate the call. All right. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right. Let's go to the 952. We've been waiting patiently. What's up? Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, Norm. It's Brandon from Minnesota. I've been in other calls.
Oh, yeah, Brandon. What's going on?
Yeah, so I just wanted to ask you, I mean, I know they've been bringing up in other calls, but you think we can stop Adrian Peterson?
I think we can. You know, I mean, I think about another game where I felt like we had to stop the run, and you look at the Rams game. At that time, they had the #1 offense. Todd Gurley was rushing like crazy, and we shut him down in that game. So we shut down at the time the #1 offense with our defense. and they pretty much won the game for us in that game. And so 5 turnovers and all that, but we'd stopped the run game. So I think that's what the kind of game we got to have. We got to do what we did to Todd Gurley and the Rams. We got to do that, to the Cardinals, and I think we can. I'm also thinking, Peterson also is coming off of a short week of practice, having run 35 times in that Sunday game. Granted, it was against the 49ers, but still, he's an older guy running for 35 carries. He's got to be feeling that thing. So I don't know how fresh he's going to be come tomorrow night when he has to do it again against our defense, but I'm hoping he's a step slower and a few aches and pains and bruises, that he's feeling a little bit more. Hopefully that will just help slow him down a little bit, because I think if we slow him down, the game will land right into our lap, into our strengths. But we got to shut him down. I think we can. I think we've got the talent to do it. We've done it before, but we've got to do it.
I got one more question.
Yeah.
Do you think, so you know how we play, how the Rams play the Eagles and the Saints right in a row? I think, because they do, I'm pretty sure it's like next week and then the week after, but I think they'll take 2 losses. If we can beat Arizona, and then whoever we play next, if we can beat them, I think we'll take back our division lead, and then once we play them at the clink, it will come down to that.
No, I agree. I mean, right now with the Rams, we kind of, to a degree, can still control our destiny, because if we beat them in the head-to-head, we'll be even in our record again, and then we'll have the advantage because of the tiebreaker and the fact that we have beaten them twice. So we don't really need too much to happen in order to stay ahead of the Rams, other than keep pace. Yeah. So I'm not as much worried about them, because
the Rams and Vikings game once they play them, so I'll be there. So.
Oh, okay, all right. But yeah, the Rams have a tough schedule. We have a tough schedule. The Rams have a pretty tough stretch coming up here. So yeah, I could see them losing one or maybe both of those games.
I mean, the Vikings, man, they're doing really good this year.
They're pretty good. Yeah, their defense is good. They've done pretty well considering that. Who's their Case Keenum? Isn't that the quarterback? And he's not a guy. What I see there though is I don't see. When it comes to the playoffs, you kind of have to have 2 things. You got to have a running game. You got to have a quarterback.
You need a good starter. You need an experienced starter.
Right. You need a quarterback that you can kind of count on, and a defense, which they have. But Case Keenum leading them through the playoffs, I don't see that carrying much weight. So, I think they'll get in. I don't think they'll get very far. Is my gut feel, but. You never know. Crazy league, man. Every week.
I think we're gonna beat the Rams once they come to town, because I know the Vikings are gonna put up a good fight.
I hope so.
I'm hoping they'll win, so then it can give the Rams an L, and then we get the W, and then we're closer in the division.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm just really worried about that Philadelphia game. That one's.
Yeah.
If we beat Philly, all of a sudden everything gets bunched up. If Philly beats us. It's going to be #1 seed.
I mean, they're looking really good. That defense, though, I don't think they can hold up, though. I don't think they will, but
I don't know. They got a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way too. That's the thing, is that they're not, other than playing us.
Yeah, they got the Rams. They got to play the Rams too.
Yeah, they do.
I think.
So, well, we'll see. Got to start with the one in front of us, and that's tomorrow night. So, let's get it done.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it, man.
Okay, bye.
All right, go Hawks. All right, a couple more here. Approaching past the 1 hour mark here. I got a few more on hold, so let's go to 682. What's up? You're on with NorbCam. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
Yes, sir. Jacob Santana calling from Dallas, Texas. Well, C. Santana, I like to say.
Okay. All right. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, I have a couple questions. First, what do you think of our offense and defensive coordinators so far?
All right, defensive coordinator. Well, I think for the most part he's been pretty good. We've been pretty solid as a whole, and the defense has been performing pretty well. I question our scheme that they used in that last drive by the Redskins. I mean, I don't know if it was execution. It seemed like we were playing press coverage, and of all times, I think when you should go into a kind of prevent D, that would have been the time to really do it, because at that point in the game, the only thing that can beat you is getting beat deep, and that's exactly what happened twice. And that to me is inexcusable. And I don't know who's to blame on that. If that's the players, the scheme, the coordinator. But it seemed like it wasn't the ideal defense to be in at that point of the game. They should have had 4 back, and I don't know, they seemed like to be in a press, and it was too easy for them to get behind us. So I guess most recently I fault the coordinator for that, for not getting the right guys in the right positions to succeed there. So I'm a little bit down on him just for the last game, but before that I thought he was doing a great job. So, I'm okay with how the defense has been playing for the most part. We've given up a lot of more big plays, I think, than we're used to. But, a lot of yards the Texans put up on us, but, hopefully tomorrow is a different story. But as far as the offensive coordinator, oh, man, it's so hard to know because I don't know the woes that we've had. We've had this rushing game deficiency for so long and offensive line problems. I don't know if that's, it's like, where does the fault start? Does it start with the guys who are being drafted, and that's Schneider and Carroll? Or is it is it the line coach, Tom Cable, not getting these guys ready from his standpoint? Or is it the offensive coordinator not calling the right plays? It's kind of, all these different pieces that come into form. But one thing we know is that it's been consistent, but those positions haven't changed. Nobody's moved from that position, so it's hard to know what was a weak link. But all I do know is that we've had so many defensive coordinators move on because they've been searched after by other teams. Nobody's looking for Darrell Bevell. No one's knocked on his door and say, hey, can we get him from your team and bring him on as a head coach or whatever? No one wants to take Darrell Bevell away. So you kind of have to wonder, why is nobody wanting Darrell Bevell? Why is he always here as a permanent fixture, So there are times...
Talent is so frustrating, too. Just to see that, I just cringe every game sometimes.
It is. There are times when, and I know every coordinator goes through this, that they'll do a perplexing play. You wonder, why did they call that at that given moment? And then they'll shock you with something and go, wow, that was a really brilliant play. And so you have to give them credit when they actually do something right and not just knock them when everything goes bad. But why we don't have a running game, I mean, that has got to be addressed, whatever way they got to do it, because, we're getting worse. I didn't think we could be worse from last year, and we're actually worse from last year's performance. And we need that in order to make it into the playoffs or to succeed in the playoffs. So whatever we got to do, we got to get that going. And we may not completely fix it this year, but at least we can get a little bit going, and then in the offseason next year, really build it up, because this just cannot be going on for a third straight season. It's just too frustrating to watch.
Beast Mode used to just make up his own plays.
Yeah, well, he made a bad line look okay because of how good he was. So, but it's kind of like the opposite. You take that line from 2005 with Sean Alexander running behind it, and that line, that team should have had a ring. I'm sorry, they got screwed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we got screwed over for that. Yeah.
But it's a shame that Matt Hasselbeck and Walter Jones and all those guys don't have rings, because that was one of the best lines we've ever had. And I'd love to have seen. I'd love to have a line like that now. But who knows? Maybe with Dwayne Brown becoming a permanent fixture and a couple adjustments here and there, maybe we can get to that point. And plus, what's his name? George Fant, who we lost before the season even got started. Who knows? Once he's healthy again, maybe he goes to right tackle. Maybe we move Ifedi into guard or move something around, and maybe we have it there. It's just because of injuries and stuff, it isn't the right combination. But anyway, yeah.
And then also, what do you think about us bringing in Martellus Bennett? That is awesome that they let him go, but at the same time he wants to retire. But if we had a 2 tight end, 1 for blocking, and then we had Jimmy Graham for the offense, how awesome would that be?
Yeah, but we already got 3 tight ends already. That's one of those. We have one of those areas where we're not short in that department. So if you bring him in, who do you let go? Because every time you bring somebody, you got to move another one. Unless somebody got injured, if we lost one of our tight ends, then I'd say, yeah, that's a great move. But right now, we've got 3 guys who, Jimmy Graham, Luke Wilson, and Nick Vannett. They're doing fine. I think we just need to use Graham in certain situations more. But we're pretty good in that tight end. I know what you're talking about. It's fun to talk about it, but practically speaking, there's not really a spot for them unless a spot opened up.
Not realistic, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it'd be fun to have the Bennett brothers. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Go Hawks. All right, we got time for a couple more. Let's go to the 505. What's up? This is NorbCam. Who's this and where you calling from?
NorbCam? Is this NorbCam?
This is NorbCam. Who's this?
Mexico?
Yep, you're on.
Aaron, I'm from New Mexico.
Okay. And what's on your mind?
What?
What's your question? What do you want to talk about?
I got a big question about the Arizona game tomorrow. Last year when we faced Arizona, we tied the game 6-6 in overtime. Do you think that will happen again tomorrow?
Do I think we'll have a tie again, 6-6?
Yeah. Do you think we might go to overtime?
God, I hope not. that would be an awful game if it did. I don't think so. I think no, we're gonna put up more points tomorrow. We've been putting up a lot of points and yardage. I think we'll do that again tomorrow. We just have to stop Arizona from running the ball, because if we stop them from running the ball, then we get more possessions and then we have the opportunity to score more points. If Arizona runs the ball, they pretty much hold the ball for a long time. They keep it to a tight, low-scoring game. I think that's how they're going to try to beat us. So I believe we're going to not let that happen, which means we'll have points and we'll be able to get things done. So, yeah, I don't think it'll be a tie. I don't think it'll be 6-6. I think it'll be a score in our favor. So that's my feeling on tomorrow.
And I got two more questions for you.
I'll take one more because I don't have time. I got to wrap it up pretty quick here, so I'll take one more question from you, buddy.
Okay, one more question. In the Seahawks prediction 2017, do you think that we still have a chance to beat Dallas?
Do we still have a chance to beat Dallas? Well, if Ezekiel Elliott has to serve his suspension during the time that we play him, I think our chances go up. But I think we have a chance against anybody, as long as we play a good game. I think we can beat Philadelphia, but we have to be almost perfect to do it. And I think if we play Dallas and play a solid game where we don't have a bunch of penalties and negative plays, I think we can beat them too. So, yeah, no, we definitely could. I predicted we would get a loss over there. It's going to be a tough one, but I think we can. But we've got to play our best football, and I haven't seen us play our best football yet. I haven't seen one game yet where we played a complete game that felt like we were, not shooting ourselves in the foot. So if we can stop doing that, I think we'll win a lot of these games. Just haven't seen it yet. But it's there. It can happen. All right, well, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, yeah. All right, last two. From the 224. Who's this, and where are you calling from?
This is Alex from Chicago.
Yeah, Alex from Chicago. Good to hear from you again. What's going on?
I was wondering about, the kicker, Blair Walsh. He was 3 field goals, and I think that's what cost us the game.
For sure.
Not just defense and offense. I think the field goals were, Blair Walsh cost us more of the game than our defense.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think everybody pretty much has a target on Blair Walsh's back, that they put the blame on him. I think you can argue that there are other reasons we lost, but Blair Walsh is definitely the most guilty in that, because if he makes 2, even one of those, the game takes on a whole different direction and probably we win. If he makes all 3, we're not even sweating at the end of the game. So, that's the kind of stuff we cannot be doing, that we seem to be doing at some point of every game, where we do bad mistakes and not doing their job. So hopefully tomorrow he has a rebound game and he does just fine. And if he kicks 3 for 3 and is solid on extra points, then I'm ready to keep him going. I don't think we need to kick him off the team at this point. So hopefully it was just a bad day, and we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe we'll give him another shot. Maybe if you guys would perform, then I feel like we might have to release him and maybe get a new kicker.
Yeah, I think so. If he doesn't,
let's just give him another shot.
Yeah, if he doesn't come through tomorrow, I think that we'll be looking we'll be looking for sure. So hopefully not. We'll find out tomorrow night. All right, thanks for calling, man. I appreciate it. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right. This is the last call, actually the last one in the queue, so it'll be the last one right here. So this is from the 360. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
What's up? My name is Mason, and I'm from Vancouver, Washington.
Very cool. Hey, Mason. So what's on your mind tonight?
I was just wondering, what do you think is Seattle's new record going to be, considering their loss and their kind of trials here and there? What do you think it's going to be?
Since I predicted 14-2, that clearly is not going to happen. Realistically, I think we can do well here. I between the Falcons, Cowboys, and the Eagles, we probably are looking at least one more loss in there. So, you know, I'm hoping if we can finish 12-4, that'd be pretty darn good. I mean, I'd love to see us go perfect the rest of the way and go 13-3, but that's a tall order. So maybe we lose to Philly and we win the rest and we go 12-4. 12-4 is probably still a chance we could be up there, you know, to compete for the number 1 seed if Philly falls. But if we lose to Philly, you know, and they keep doing what they're doing, they may have it all locked up and we might be, you know, having to face a road game, assuming we make it to the playoffs. But yeah, I'm hoping 13-3 would be a dream. 12-4 would be, you know, would be good. Anything less than that is going to be tough. We're going to be on the road.
Yeah, I think Philly's going to be a pretty tough matchup. But how good do you think Seattle's offense will do? Do you think they'll be consistent? The running game? How do you think that will go?
Well, you know, according to my crystal ball, yeah, we're going to have a perfect balance, 50-50 of running and passing. Yeah, that's just my dream hope. But right now, you know, it hasn't started happening yet, but, you know, we have 8 games to get it going. And historically speaking, Seattle plays their best football in the week of November, barring the game that we had. But after they get past that first week of November, Seattle is really good compared to how they do from September through the beginning of November. So we're ready to hit that part where we hit our stride. We're like that runner in the marathon who's lagging in the middle, kind of in the back, and then starts to make their push as they get around that corner. So we're starting to hit around that. We're starting to get around the turn before the home stretch. So this is where we start to make our move. Yeah. So I'm hoping the offense will start to make its move, start kicking in there. The defense will just tighten things up. And then suddenly we'll be looking at the end of the season, you know, a rush to the finish, and hopefully with a division, and then chasing Philadelphia down for a number 1 seed. But we're going to need some help. And hopefully Philadelphia drops a couple of games here and makes it interesting.
Yeah, I'd like to see a Philly-Seattle NFC Championship game. That would be pretty awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. That Sunday night game, everything, if it continues how it is going to be an epic, you know, showdown December 3rd. But first one's in front of us tomorrow night, so we got to get this one, beat the Cardinals, get that one off our back.
Yep.
All right, thanks for calling, man.
Thank you for answering my questions.
No problem. Later. Appreciate your call. All right, go Hawks. All right, got one more call. We're going to take this, and this will be the last one. What's up? From the local 206. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Don from Everett.
All right, what's going on, man? What's up?
Yeah, I was wondering, because tomorrow's game's going to have great quarterback versus wide receiver matchup. It's going to be Doug Baldwin versus Patrick Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
With that said, do you think Paul Richardson is going to carry the passing yards?
Well, I think both of those guys could have big games. You know, it's like every game we've had recently, you know, different guys have stepped up. You know, in that obviously Richardson had a huge game against the Texans. This past game, Baldwin had some huge catches, some of them taken back, unfortunately. But Richardson also, you know, had a good game. Lockett had some good catches in there. Graham was a little quiet last game, but Wilson stepped up. You know, I would love to see Richardson and Baldwin get some big catches. You know, those guys, you know, especially Baldwin on prime time. You know, we're really good in prime time. So I'm thinking, you know, Wilson will hook up with his old buddy, his security blanket, and Baldwin, and you know, really pull it together and put something together for the national audience to see. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Baldwin will come out of this game, you know, get a bunch of catches for, you know, close to 100 or more yards, and, you know, and we rush for, you know, get Rawls rushing for 75, 80, and, you know, stop Peterson for keep him under 60 yards, and then it won't even be close if we can do that. But we've got to keep Peterson grounded and keep him at bay, and I think we will win this game.
Yeah, just one more question.
Yep.
It's wide receiver versus corner.
know. Fitzgerald usually plays the slot nowadays, right? So I don't think Richard would really be on him most of the time. I haven't really look at the matchups there, but usually, Rich Sherman's going to take the outside receiver on the left, and if Fitzgerald's in the slot, I think that's going to be more of our nickel, or the linebackers might be dealing with him depending on what routes he's running. So I think occasionally Sherman and him might tie it up, but this Fitzgerald's been like the ageless wonder, man. He's still playing really well, and so he scares me a little bit because he's clutch. He's kind of Baldwin-esque that way, that guy who, if all else is failing, just throw it to him and he'll kind of make things happen. He's Mr. Third Down possession guy. So, yeah, he's another guy we got to worry about, So, I'm hoping that we just make life so tough for Stanton that he can't get the ball out, that he gets sacked a lot, and the ball never gets a chance to get close to those receivers. Because if he can get thrown with any kind of accuracy, it's going to be, a challenge. But again, I think they're going to want to run the ball. So I'm hoping these matchups won't even really matter because, they'll be forced to pass once they abandon the run, and then Seattle can start getting some picks and some sacks. Right. You know what I mean? That's the formula for success for Seattle. So, yeah, and hopefully Sherman's Achilles injury that they got listed for him isn't going to be a big deal. But, everyone's banged up, So, yeah, I'm nervous, but we got to get this game. But I'm optimistic we'll pull it out.
Must win.
Must win. Every game is must win from this point on. It's like the playoffs already. So that's the way I look at it. All right. Thanks for calling, man.
All right, man. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Go Hawks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is the end of the conference call. I got to wrap things up here. But again, I want to thank you guys for watching. We'll do this again after the Cardinals game and talk about how that game went. And but for now, Seattle's got to get this win. I'll be live streaming it tomorrow, so please tune in for that. I'll be streaming here on YouTube as well as on Facebook. And for those of you who are local in Seattle, come down to the Emerald Downs Casino. Again, they're giving away at HD TV 4K tickets to the Hawks-Falcons game and jerseys and other things. So it's going to be a lot of fun if you're from the area. Otherwise, watch my stream, and we'll talk more later after this game and see how it went. But if you haven't yet, please feel free to subscribe. Once I get the subscribe button up here, click over here and like and share this video and comment with your questions. I'll try to answer them in the comment boxes. And yeah, let's see what happens. Big game. All right. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for chatting. And thanks for you guys who called in. Appreciate it very much. Go Hawks.